America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse.
American drug culture is always in flux. A decade ago, even 2 years ago, marijuana was banned and heroin was an out-of-sight small problem. Now, marijuana is sold like beer and heroin is ravaging a whiter, younger, and more suburban crowd. But hold on a minute, haven't we seen this episode before?
Number one.
Heroin has come to middle America. In small towns all across the country, heroin is now plentiful.
In the late 1960s, reformers launched a massive push for the acceptance of marijuana. They ended up with a heroin plague and the war on drugs. Now that pot's legal in 2 states and attitudes seem to be relaxing, the question is, could history repeat itself?
In order to fight and defeat this enemy, it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive.
Weed wasn't even federally illegal when Richard Nixon took office in January of 1969. More than 12 million Americans had puffed the one-time devil weed, and their heroic defenders launched an all-out attack on state pot laws nationwide. This was no fringe campaign. The head of the Food and Drug Administration supported softer pot laws. Change seemed to be in the air.
We gotta get all this dope to fill a 20-foot joint.
Instead, the exact opposite happened, and for a simple reason: heroin. As marijuana acceptance spread, heroin pushed out of the ghetto and into white suburbia and the armed forces. Use doubled, overdoses soared. In San Francisco, health workers declared 1970 the year of the middle-class junkie. Teen overdoses tripled in New York City, and more than 80% of the new mainliners, just like today, they were white. Suddenly, the politics changed. Congress banned marijuana outright in 1970 when it passed the Controlled Substances Act. The drug was tabbed Schedule 1, a narcotic with no medical value, just like heroin. We know how that turned out. It allowed President Nixon to treat innumerable middle-class concerns: crime, race riots, braless women, dirty-haired kids, as one single addressable issue: drug abuse. He called it the modern curse of youth, the problem of narcotics. And even after his own Blue Ribbon Commission concluded that pot was not a health risk and recommended that it be decriminalized, Nixon defended his ban on marijuana.
I shall continue to oppose efforts to legalize marijuana.
More than 40 years later, as heroin once again is sweeping the suburbs, it's easy to imagine a Republican candidate saying those same words today.